Hello everyone, so I'm sitting there watching the Harry Potter movies on Netflix with my family and it just hits me. It hits me the amount of times Voldemort should have had Harry Potter dead and buried. Like, it's absolutely bloody ridiculous when you add up all the encounters. Now, I have 5 encounters, but there's actually more. I know it's all part of the plot, but when you look at the reality of it, for someone of Voldemort's power and stature, he might as well have just rolled over and died himself. So let's jump in here and look at 5 times the Dark Lord should have won easily. Before we start, I'd like to talk about today's sponsor, Surfshark. Surfshark offer you an incredibly powerful VPN to protect your internet privacy. In today's computer age, hackers are constantly trying to gain access to your bank account details, your social media passwords, and access to your personal information, amongst many other things. This can all be prevented when browsing under Surfshark's protection. Not only does it protect your privacy, it also offers you a lot more. Different countries have different viewing restrictions on what content can be viewed. Therefore, by logging into a VPN based in another country, you can gain access to that content that may be blocked in the country that you live in. For those of you who've always wanted to watch the full 8 Harry Potter movies on Netflix, but haven't been able to in your own country, you can simply select Turkey on your Surfshark VPN location and have full access to every single one of them. It's that simple. If you join Surfshark today, you'll get 3 extra months for free. All you have to do is enter my code POTTER. You'll also be able to use Surfshark on as many devices as you like. There's no limits. And finally, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee. Basically, if you're not happy, if you're not satisfied, then your money will be returned. It's a no-brainer, guys. So sign up to Surfshark right now by clicking the link in the description below. So the first incident I have is the Forbidden Forest incident. Now, in Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, it should have been game over for the boy who lived. Harry had his first real conscious encounter with the Dark Lord as Voldemort possessed Professor Quirrell and attempted to kill him in the Forbidden Forest. Now, the encounter was purely coincidental due to Quirrell needing to feed on unicorn blood to sustain his body, as the Dark Lord was basically sucking the life force out of him. Quirrell had to swivel left and right and do the slow, creepy approach before eventually getting close enough to Harry. Then he takes one step closer to Harry every bloody hour. Anyway, by the time he's about to strike, Firenze the Centaur leaps in with his big sexy centaur physique, and it's all like, "You will not harm Harry Potter on this night, good sir. For I, Firenze, in all my blue-skinned might, shall stop you." Then Quirrell is like, I'm getting out of here. And he flies off to get a mini flogging from Voldemort for his failures. He should have just darted at Harry, took out his wand, Avada Kedavra, boom boom, Harry's dead. If he succeeded in killing Harry, it would have made it easier to retrieve the Philosopher's Stone. Now, I know what you're going to say. You're thinking, Dean, you look fantastic. But on a serious note, the final test, in order to gain access to the stone, is for someone who wants it, but does not intend to use it. Quirrell doesn't want to use it. Voldemort does. Meaning, technically, he could have gained access to the stone. Voldemort would have regained a physical form and harnessed the stone's powers, putting him in a much stronger position as he'd returned to power much earlier, with Harry's murder as a statement of intent. It would have been a huge shock to the entire community, but obviously the story is all about Harry as he grows up in the wizarding world, and for it to end so soon, well, it defeats the purpose of the entire thing really, but that is a time where Voldemort should have easily, and could have easily, won. So let's move on to the Graveyard Duel. Now, in Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, Voldemort's plan to restore his body is successful just after the conclusion of the Triwizard Tournament. Harry and Cedric get transported by Portkey to Little Hangleton Graveyard. Now, after being resurrected using Harry's blood, of all the enemy's blood he could have used, he used the person he wants to kill. Anyway, Voldemort duels with Harry in the graveyard, and to be honest, he really starts taking the piss, like he's toying with him, trying to humiliate him. He hits him with the Crucio curse, He verbally abuses Harry and Harry's mother, like he's just come back from the dead basically, like he was nothing but a spirit entity. So you know he's feeling pretty good about himself, and this is his mistake. He had Harry Potter at his mercy. He could have just ended him right there and then, more than once. He could have killed him while he was entrapped in the statue, just hit Potter with an Avada Kedavra, job done. Even when he released Harry from the statue, take the knife Peter Pettigrew had, jab jab, Harry dies from mortal wounds, job done. Before the Priori Incantatem moment, which happened because Harry decided to face Voldemort and fight him, well, that only happened because the Dark Lord goaded him into doing it. Harry was initially avoiding Voldemort's direct attacks, but in saying that, Voldemort wanted to defeat him face to face in a duel for his own arrogant-based reasons. He had so many opportunities to just end it all, but he didn't. Harry then actually choosing to duel willingly caused the Priori Incantatem wand lock to happen, eventually leading to Harry's escape. Voldemort could have killed Harry easily, wrapped it up, and eliminated a major threat to his campaign. As we know, he didn't. Anyway, let's move on to the other Forbidden Forest incident. Yeah, there's 2 Forbidden Forest incidents, guys, and you'll probably already be aware of that. And yeah, the Dark Lord hit Harry with an absolute gargantuan Avada Kedavra. I mean, he put everything into it. Ralph Fiennes' facial expressions really sold how much meaning Voldemort had behind the curse. Now, this situation differed from the graveyard duel because Voldemort learned his lesson about making Harry fight him. He wasn't messing about, he wanted to get the job done, and Harry arrived and willingly took the curse straight to the chest. Now the irony here is, guys, if Harry actually raised his wand to fight, he'd have been attempting to defend himself, which voids the purpose of his loving sacrifice to protect everyone. Anyway, both Harry and Voldemort are knocked over because the soul fragment in Harry was destroyed, affecting both individuals. Voldemort gets up, sees Harry's lifeless body, and thinks, okay, finally he's dead. He tries Crucio on him, and Harry doesn't budge. Narcissa Malfoy then confirms Harry's false death. Did Voldemort thoroughly check Harry himself? Check to see if he was breathing? Use a spell to check his heartbeat? No, because he's overconfident and just assumes he got the job done. He could have had others try to harm Harry to confirm the death, especially after what happened in previous encounters. He didn't, and Harry once again survived. Okay, so let's look at the Battle of the Department of Mysteries incident. Now, this was actually a setup by Voldemort to lure Harry to the Ministry in order to retrieve the prophecy so the Dark Lord could finally discover the end of it. Never mind just getting Harry there to kill him, but nope, the prophecy was his priority at that point. Voldemort let his Death Eaters do the dirty work, let them endure a battle against students, and later the Order of the Phoenix. Voldemort reveals himself after the prophecy was destroyed and his crew lost, instead of just leading them into battle, where I'm sure he'd have been far more effective. He appears as Harry is chasing Bellatrix and encourages him to harm her, trying to bring out a darker side of Harry. Right there and then, boom! Avada Kedavra. Kill Harry. Job done. All it takes is a couple of seconds. Instead, he decides to enter a huge duel with Dumbledore, which ended in a stalemate. He tries to possess Harry and that fails, and actually ends up exposing himself to the arriving Ministry officials, which in turn alerts the entire world to his proper, official return. Just another situation where he could have ended things quite easily, but chooses to allow his arrogance to get the better of him. As I mentioned, guys, I'm well aware that the overall plot point of the story is to have these things happen in order for the story to continue, but looking at it plainly, Voldemort was pretty awful at killing Harry Potter. So guys, we will move on to our final moment, and that is the Elder Wand duel. In the final confrontation between Harry and Voldemort, the Dark Lord believed he was the true master of the Elder Wand, even though he still felt its resistance even after killing Severus Snape. He ignored all the signs because his arrogance fueled the victory he believed he already had in his head. He buried any doubt he had, whereas if he just disarmed Harry with his original wand, he'd have become the Elder Wand's true master and could have dispatched Harry pretty easily enough. He could have avoided the wand backfiring. Even when Harry pleaded with him to try for some remorse, Voldemort should have realised Harry was saying this from an advantage standpoint, like he was being offered one final chance. Why would he be offered one final chance after everything he's done? Despite the Dark Lord's intelligence, he couldn't recognise this, and it eventually led to his downfall. This should have been a quick, straightforward realisation, but Voldemort just would not allow himself to see it. After all, he's experienced nothing but victory and success apart from that night in Godric's Hollow, which he thought he learned from. So guys, there you have it. That is 5 times Voldemort should have won easily. I said it in the intro of the video, there was quite a few times that Voldemort could have and should have dispatched Harry Potter. And my question to you is, do you have any additional times you'd like to add where Voldemort should have gotten the job done? Let me know in the comment section. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all very soon.